Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. I'm excited because today we are diving into a brand new and beautiful, can I just say branding wise, new Riff. Y'all do a great job. And this bottle's no different. I love even the shape of the label here, you know, the curvature, the sort of goldish bronze color embossing. I think it just looks really, really good. But this is what's they say is gonna be like a new core release for new Riff. This is the 8-year-old bourbon. Now, it's sort of like following the rules of bottled and bond, you know, 100 proof. But the thing is, they can't call it a bottled and bond product because it's whiskey that was distilled in 2 different seasons. So in order to be bottled and bond, that's one of the requirements. It has to be in 1 season of distillation. So can't technically be called that, but it is 8 years old, a minimum, and it is 100 proof. Now, I'm really interested to see how this is going to taste because I gotta say, on paper, this product almost looks like this too good to be true. You know what I mean? Because the price on this is $67. $67 MSRP for this bottle. I actually got it for $54 because a bourbon club that I'm in was doing a barrel pick down at New Riff. And while they were there, part of the deal of doing the barrel pick with them was New Riff offered them a discount on bottles, including this one. So they picked one up from the distillery for me at $54. That's all I paid for this, so I got sort of a steal here. But 8-year-old bourbon, at least, and $67 at 100 proof is honestly like a really good deal on paper, right? So we're gonna taste this. We'll see if if it is too good to be true, or if it's somewhere in between, or it sucks. I don't know. I haven't had anything from New Riff that sucks, so we'll see. So at the very least, this is a really affordable, approachable 8-year-old bourbon. But we'll see if it's any good. Oh, I should tell you the mash bill. Yeah, they list this right here on the back. So the mash bill here is 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley. And the little blurb on the back of the bottle says this. It says, from our founding in 2014, New Riff Distilling has carefully set back whiskey for long-term aging. You hold in your hand the fruits of that investment in this well-aged bourbon whiskey, drawing on our experience as well as the sour mash traditions of Kentucky whiskey making regimen. This high rye unfiltered bourbon delivers savory, spicy flavors over the inimitable foundation of mature Kentucky whiskey. So there you have it. Let's get into this. We'll see if this is worth keeping your eye out for, because if this is going to be like a new core release, hopefully that means it's going to be more available. I think the first wave is a little less approachable. I think you could order them from the website directly, but I think you have to like pick it up in person. So it may be something you don't see on a shelf in the immediate future. But hopefully me doing this review for you will let you know if it's something that, you know, a month, 2 months from now, if you start seeing them out there, if it's worth picking up. I do really like New Riff in general. There's some stuff I've had from them that I didn't really care for, but generally speaking, their core stuff is like really, really good. And I've had a lot of great barrel picks from them too. That's a really interesting nose. It's really earthy. I mean, there's sweet notes in there, a little bit of butterscotch, a little bit of caramel. But I expected more oak on the nose for this being 8 years old. And I'm not getting a ton of oak. There's some in there, obviously. It's a bourbon. But I'm mostly getting sweet and earthy notes. I know this is gonna sound bad, and I don't mean it bad because it's not off-putting. But have you ever, you know, like you're making an Italian dish of some kind. You got some oil and butter in the pan. You throw in your rosemary and your thyme or basil or whatever it is, and some fresh minced garlic. And you're like trying to preheat that stuff up a little bit, cook it, let those flavors come out a little bit more before you start making like a cream sauce or something. But when you've got the herbs in the pan, and if you let it go just a fuzz too long, and they start to like crisp and brown, they change, right? And you get sort of this charred, earthy note on them. That's what I get on this, like a charred, earthy quality on the nose. But there's also that sweetness there that's offsetting it, so it's not altogether off-putting. I will say that it's not what I expected. Let's try it. Cheers. That is really different. So I guess let me talk about expectations. I expected 8 years, New Riff, bourbon. So I'm going into this thinking I'm going to get notes that really remind me of things like maybe the new 1924 bottle from Old Forester. I think of even like Elijah Craig 18 year. Obviously that's a way older, but similar in the regards that I expected to get a lot more oak. And it's a lower proof, right? The Elijah Craig 18 years is a lower proof, and this is only 100 proof. So I kind of thought I was gonna get those real tannic oak qualities with some brown sugar and caramel in there. And I don't feel like oak is really a star here at all. If anything, I think that oak is a supporting actor, an unnamed character. You know what I mean? I do get a little bit of that brown sugar sweetness right up front on the sip. It's not those, real caramely notes. It's not a very creamy mouthfeel either. But it goes from sweet to earthy real fast. There's a little bit of a transition there between the sweet and the earthiness where I think the rye shines through. You get a little bit of this little punch of pepper. The tail end of the palate and on into the finish. I know this is a weird thing to say, but something that just popped in my head was like my wife's curling iron when it's still hot, sitting there on the counter after she's curled her hair, and you wait for it to cool off and it's still hot, sitting there while you're brushing your teeth and you're smelling it. That's a weird thing to say. I know that. Full disclosure, I'm very aware of how bizarre that sounds, but that is what popped into my mind on the finish. So sweet brown sugars, a little punch of pepper, and then into this earthy note long into the finish, like those slightly burnt herbs that we were getting on the nose. Man, that is interesting. So let's recap some things here. $67 for this bottle is not bad. Like I don't feel, well, and then I only paid $54 for it. So I don't have any buyer's remorse in that regard. Pretty approachable bottle for 8-year-old bourbon from a distillery that is pretty well loved and accepted, New Riff. But they're great. So even if you don't like this, it's not like you're $100 into a bottle that you regret. But that being said, I think this is probably one of my least favorite things that I've had from New Riff, if I'm being 100% honest. Man, I love like their single barrel ryes. So good. I love that bottle. And I think their ryes are really good mix for mixing too, like old fashions. Their standard bourbon with a lot of rye in the mash bill, really freaking good. Barrel picks have all been solid that I've tried. But I'm just not sure that I'm crazy about this, truth be told. Which is too bad. It's a beautiful bottle. Gorgeous branding. I love the like two-tone where it's not transparent, perfectly black, but then it's sort of, there's a gradient to it, and then it transitions to being clear and you can see the whiskey inside the bottle. It's a great design. So if I'm going to give this a score per my scale, I'm thinking that I'm going to lean towards like a 6.3. And I hate that because I really love New Riff. I don't want to give anything from them a 6.3. Not that that's terrible. I think that puts that pretty comfortably in the maybe buy category. And really just because the value for this bottle I think carries a lot of weight. $67 for an 8-year-old minimum bourbon. Really a pretty good deal there, but only if you enjoy the sip. And I'm really just not crazy about it. I don't dislike it, but I'm not crazy about it. I really wanted more oak and more brown sugar to really shine through some of those vanillins on that great mature seasoned oak that usually comes through with age. I'm just not really getting that here. That's unfortunate because I really wanted it. I think that would do a lot for this sip, frankly. But yeah, that's what I'm going to give it. I would really love to know if any of you guys watching this have tried this bottle yourselves. And if you tried it, what did you think? Did you really feel about it the same way that I did? I'd be genuinely curious to hear if other people are having similar experiences to me. I really wanted this to be a banger bottle, quite frankly. Seeing the price and the age, I was like, man, if this is good, this is going to like shake things up dramatically. This is going to be like a huge release in 2024. But I think they missed the mark a little bit, at least for me personally in my palate. And that's the review. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. I feel like I'm a little bit washed out. Normally when I record, it's daytime. And I've got natural lighting that comes in, but my key light's not working right now. I think I blew a bulb in it, so I got to get it replaced. So I just have these overhead can lights. I feel like it's kind of washing me out. I'm looking even more pale than normal. So thank you for not pointing it out and making me feel worse about it. I appreciate that. But cheers. Thanks so much for watching the video today. Appreciate y'all. And if you want to get involved in our Discord, totally free, check the link in the description. We got great people over there, great conversations. We'd love to meet you. Feel free to introduce yourself. Cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.